And with the first one being is why you shouldn't quit your job to go into becoming a real estate investor, right? This we hear all the time, especially the bigger pocket crowd and everybody. Every time somebody says, even on Facebook, I'm going to quit my job and go full time, everybody's like, oh my God, yay. And I look at them, I'm like, oh my God, you're an idiot. Like beyond an idiot. You haven't even done anything yet.
Yeah.
Yet you're sacrificing pretty much like that one thing that you have that is consistent for something that you don't even know if you're going to succeed at.
And getting your real estate license does not constitute, well, I got my real estate license. It's like, no. Like, it's having a client base. It's the knowledge around what by getting a real estate license does not act, you don't know how to do real estate. It's like, it means you can pass a test. You can memorize the information, you can go pass a test. That's all that means. When it comes to getting your license, like that's the first step. You're in the right direction. But just because you got your real estate license doesn't mean you should go quit your job, because you're not going to start making commissions. Like you're not going to start making 50 grand, 70 grand, 100 grand your first year just because you got your license. Nobody shows up with a list of clients and says like, I'm ready to list my house. Like, very competitive market where like you need to build that business and that reputation and those habits, and you need to understand the knowledge around that. And like, getting your license doesn't teach you that stuff.
Well, and how high is the turnover in real estate, right? I mean, we've seen it since we've been in this. How many people start, they're all gung-ho, right? We're going to crush it. We're going to kill it. Oh, I'm so motivated. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. Look at this. Look at that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Until they actually start doing what they need to be doing, because they're starting from ground zero. And guess what? From ground zero requires you to do all the shitty work that many people do not like to do. You know, all the cold calling, door knocking, getting cursed at, getting rejected, you know, all the headaches, all the crap that people don't want to deal with. And as soon as they start hitting that, all of a sudden, well, you know, I needed to take a break, and I needed to do this, and I needed to do that, and I can't. And then it's like, all right, yeah, you're not gonna last. You understand? Because this is not gonna get easier. The more you grow in this business, the more stressful it's gonna be. So if you can't embrace the stress, and kind of like I like to say, if you can't embrace the suck, I don't know where I heard it, but I love the phrase of it. It's gonna become, you're not gonna last. No. And then you're saying, oh, let me quit my job, something that's actually providing me the income to sustain my life, to eat, to survive, to go after something that after you start doing it, like, man, I see these people and I was like, man, you're really kind of screwed right now, because you quit a great job, you quit whatever you had to come after something that now you hate doing.
Yeah. So
it's one of those things that's like, you got to be very smart. You got to think about it. You need to think about, like, how are you going to survive? You know, I did a whole episode, and I'm going to link it before. It's called Before You Quit Your Job for Real Estate Investing. And it covers like what you need to look at, because you need, if you're going to do it, do you have reserves to last you, I don't know, a year? You know what I mean? Like, it takes care of not just your living expenses, but your marketing, your real estate business, because it costs money to do.
Well, and it's like you need to understand the financing of real estate too. It's like you need a W-2 income to qualify for loans, like unless you're paying cash for stuff, and then it only goes so far. Or you plan on using commercial loans and stuff like it, which are not your 30-year fixed rate 3% interest loans. Like, no, they're like 20 year, and you have 5-year ARMs and 4.5 to 5.5% interest rates. So it's like you got a whole different level of competition and financing style that your general public does not understand. Or doesn't know. So like that W-2 income is a huge thing. I mean, that's definitely something. I think we did one about, like, probably in that one Before You Quit Your Job, towards like, there's a lot of things you should do that I wish I would have known before I quit my job in 2015 to move into real estate full time. Looking back, I'm like, damn, I would have just done these things before I quit. That would have been beneficial 5 years down the road. But at the time, I didn't know.
Yeah, and even for myself, I mean, I grew up in real estate. I grew up in construction. I grew up doing this. It wasn't a huge shock doing shitty work for me. Like, I grew up doing shitty work. You know what I mean? I was an immigrant most of my life. So, yeah, we did all the shitty work. So doing, and it never scared me to do the cold calling, to do all that, all the stress, everything. It never scared me. It never worried me. But there's people that just can't. And also having your job, like you said, besides the W-2 income, that's how you pick up rental properties. I mean, we have friends of ours that are real estate investors that are killing it, even though they have full-time jobs. You know what I mean? They're killing it because their job supplies them with a stable income and credit to pick up as many houses as they want to pick up.
Not little bit of knowledge. Like the knowledge, like once you understand that basic concept and you get your own finances right, like you can exponentially increase a portfolio, increase your wealth in a very short period of time. Once you just gain that knowledge, like there's still a lot of hard work that has to go into it. But once you understand the basics of it, like you can start buying properties. Then it becomes the management style. Then it becomes the type of housing you buy. Then all the other stuff comes through. Yep. But you can get into the level. Everyone's like, I just want to buy that first property. You can get there very quickly. Like you understand the basics. You have a good job. You have some savings. And you can find a decent deal with the numbers make right that you can learn with.
Yeah.